tell you a little bit about each graduate and give a brief history of our class through the years here at RVAA.
To do that, we will start with Trevor Howland, who has attended RVAA the longest of any of our classmates graduating today. 10 years ago, Trevor began pre-kindergarten with Mrs. Fish's class. From pre-K coloring pages to pre-algebra, Trevor has grown up at RVAA and now is our class vice president. He enjoys water sports and basketball, and he's pretty good at making baskets from center court, throwing basketball backwards, and making baskets over his head. He's even earned donuts for the class by making a seemingly impossible shot like that during recess one time. Trevor plans on being a radiation oncologist someday, but after witnessing his impressive putting techniques at the Fun Center on a class trip, we think he should be considering being a pro mini golfer. Trevor will never forget when we were stuck in the standstill traffic, and instead of hopping out for a quick photo like your mom asked to, you let the guys in a Chinese fire drill around the woods car.
Our class history brings us next to Hannah Wood, our class president, who joined Trevor in Mrs. Hill's kindergarten class 9 years ago. Hannah's favorite RVAA teacher is Mr. Bennett, and her preferred activities are basketball and hanging out with friends. Hannah has the smarts to choose any career she'd like to be in the future, and she plans to be a dental hygienist. She'd also be a great professional organizer, judging by how she keeps her things and other people's things. So tidy on class trip. She even made the bed in the hotel. Hannah, we will always remember giving nicknames to Redhead and Butterball, the boys who were stalking you at the trampoline park on class trip.
Brian Wachter also joined Mrs. Hill's kindergarten class at RVAA with Trevor and Hannah 9 years ago. He left RVAA for a couple of years to homeschool, and we were all glad when he rejoined our group again after 4th grade. Brian's favorite teacher is Mrs. Spelmer, and his favorite activity is, you guessed it, basketball. In fact, Brian dreams of becoming a professional basketball player someday. Though with his gentle nature and good work ethic, maybe he'd be good at many careers, as long as the job doesn't require too much talking. Brian is a man of few words. Brian, we will always remember your face when you're trying not to smile, and also the great video clips from the class trip of Isaac and Israel scaring you when you were asleep. Today, Hannah Crabtree is an 8th grader, 8th grade RVAA graduate. She joined Trevor, Hannah, and Brian in Mrs. Jenkins' 1st grade class. Her favorite teacher is Mr. Coach, a very popular favorite. Activities Hannah enjoys include eating, hanging out with friends, dancing, and drawing. When Hannah gets older, she'd like to become a writer, though I'm sure she'd be a great professional trampoline stunt woman, since she's so coordinated and was one of the first to do a perfect flip into the foam pit at the trampoline park on class trip. Hannah, I will never forget when Mrs. Cornett was trying to take a group picture by the pool on class trip, until you fell in and we had to start all over again. When you go to South next year, I know that our class members and teachers here at RVA will miss you tons. Priscilla Tavares, also known as Pickles, joined the class at RVAA in 2nd grade. Her favorite RVAA teacher is Mrs. Jenkins. Priscilla loves playing basketball, loves it. She might be the most dedicated player on the team. When she is all grown up, she wants to become a therapist. Maybe she'll pursue art. We've seen her interesting drawings. She'd also be great at a career that involves uncontrollable laughter. Wait, what was that nickname? Pickles or Giggles? Priscilla, remember when we were getting ready to leave for class trip and you were running across the lawn and you totally fell, hoping no one saw? Well, I hate to break it to you, but we kind of did.
2 more current classmates joined our group in Mrs. Mecklen's 3rd grade class. One of them was Katie Alvarez, also known as Katie Cat. Katie says her favorite teacher is all of them, and her favorite activity is eating. When Katie grows up, she says she wants to be a fireman. Actually, she doesn't possibly really know yet. Maybe she should think of something that requires wearing sunglasses or fashion glasses. Katie looks great in them, especially the ones she bought at the mall on class trip. Katie, Mrs. Cornett told us that there's a song stuck in your head, stuck in her head from class trip. Thanks to you and Israel and Isaac. She asked if you could give her just one reason why she can't forget it. Also, since Israel was munching on his chips right in your ear on the car ride home from class trip, we hope you can get the sound of the chomping out of your head.
Israel Zamudio is another classmate who joined our group in 3rd grade. His favorite teacher is Mrs. Spellberg, and in his spare time, he likes watching and playing sports, having fun with friends, hanging out with family, and riding go-karts. When he grows up, he wants to become a doctor. Well, we know he has the smarts for it,